Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine. We're here with Matt.
Hey, nice to see you, Jeff, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, this is the PTZOptics booth. We're going to go right down the line and take a look at all the cool stuff, and we're going to do that next.
So this is our new Simpltrack Lite. We've had our Simpltrack product for a while with all sorts of crazy bells and whistles. What we've done here is created a much simpler version so that more people hopefully can get their hands on the product. It's just an auto-tracking camera. It's got USB outputs, SDI outputs, HDMI outputs. NDI is pre-licensed on the unit, so you're basically ready to rock and roll with this thing as soon as you get it. $1649 is the MSRP price.
Okay, perfect. What do we got next?
All right, we've got our standard 20x camera. Sorry, the 20 and the 30 look a little bit similar there. This is available where you can NDI upgrade the product, or we have pre-licensed versions of it. You've got your network port for, RTMP, RTSP, all these fun SRT, HDMI outputs, SDI. You do have the option if you want a USB 3 port instead of SDI to get that model. And then, 485, 232, standard connectors you'd find on most PTZ cameras.
It goes up to 1080p 60.
Yeah, 1080p 60. Does have a 720/120 option as well. $1979 for the MSRP.
Without the NDI out.
Yeah, exactly. Right here we have what is our new Tally Lights products. So we have a new brand under the whole PTZOptics umbrella of Tally Lights. They're compatible with NDI systems, TriCasters, Blackmagic systems, Ross switchers. The list kind of goes on and on and on. If it's got a GPIO port, we've got something that works for it.
Okay, cool. Now, this is what was really interesting to me. You guys have a wireless system.
Yes. So this is our, and I excuse the name because a lot of people like to make fun of it, but it's the WirelessCable for a good reason. This is a product where when you buy them prepared, you're going to plug one of these into your network. You're going to plug the other one into either another network switch, a PC, a camera, and they're just wirelessly linked together. It will go through block walls, it will go through metal, it will go through all sorts of surfaces. When you pair up to 4 of them together, you can go over a mile of transmission distance with this. So it's a nice way to get NDI signals, SRT signals, RTSP signals all over the place. Same way you might have found with old HDMI, SDI wireless transmitters.
Okay. Cool. How much are those?
I think they're $549 per unit, and then there's a discount if you buy them prepared.
Okay. Because I'm assuming you're going to have to get 2.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you could buy one. They will act as an access point on their own, so that's one of the other beauties is, you want to connect your phone to it, and you're also remote out where this remote location is. No problem. You can leverage the wireless internet through it at that point.
Awesome.
So this product here is our ePTZ. So it does have a 4K image sensor, but it is limited to a 1080 output. Okay. So it does all the scaling inside, so it's pretty much lossless, at least for your first 2x zoom going on there. And then also for certain industries, we've got our dual SDI outputs. If you're trying to go into more traditional switching equipment, you don't necessarily need to deal with those IP-based workflows off of it. One of my favorite products,
Look, there I am.
our Superjoy. So this was a couple years in design, basically was completely from scratch in every sense of the word. We listened to what every customer had told us over the past 5 years about our joystick controllers that they loved and hated. And we made sure to try and implement every single thing into one controller.
Cool.
So this is capable of NDI control, controls Sony Visca, controls PTZOptics Visca. You can add your own command sets to it. We've got our adjustment knobs. These are what everybody has been asking for over all these years. Independent speed adjustments. You have your focus knobs, your zoom knobs for micro adjustments. So these always operate at the slowest possible speeds. That way you're not having to make mega zoom changes over here if you just have that slight change in your production you want to make.
That's cool.
Outside of that, some of the very interesting matrix mode. So if you want to limit the capabilities, that turns the number pad, camera 1, preset 1, 2, 3, camera 2, preset 1, 2, 3, camera 3, preset 1, 2, 3. So you can have volunteers operate things without, messing with too much. Same thing for basic mode. It limits people to camera selection and preset recall. You have volunteers, they can't go and change your coloring, your speeds, any of that extra stuff. And those 2 features are available as IP interfaces off of here. So if you want to give somebody an iPad out in the audience, you can let them just control it from there then.
Could I use this with like an NDI bridge, and so the cameras
Yes. So this is fully compatible with the NDI bridge. It has an NDI search function. So as soon as you're on that bridge, it's going to go searching for all those NDI sources available to you. So yeah, with the NDI control, you're just going to be able to kind of go to town with it.
Any camera that's NDI.
As long as they've implemented NDI control is what we've come to find.
Okay.
So we said that originally and came to find a lot of people we thought had NDI control on their cameras did not have NDI control on their cameras. The only other thing of mention are the custom buttons. Custom buttons allow you to add your own command sets for other cameras, other people's products. We have people using it to control projectors, lighting systems, stuff like that, as well as the ability to layer command sets so that you can kind of create macros within here.
Okay.
And you can also do something called a super preset, where you control up to 8 cameras, all with a single press of a button.
Okay.
I guess the last thing to talk about is the HDMI output. So a lot of people see a joystick and they say, why does it have an HDMI output on it? Well, the reality is, this feed we're viewing right here is coming off of the joystick, and it allows you to have that nice ability to see a preview. Okay. We don't necessarily recommend using it as a production switcher by any means, but it's that really nice, what am I looking at? Is it looking at the right thing? Mm-hmm. So yeah, just a quick, easy way to verify. Or if you're getting set up, also a really nice, easy way to not pull out your whole production setup just to get all the presets and everything configured.
That's $989 for that,
yes,
right?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. Simple product we make. Sister company, HuddlecamHD. This is a 10x USB camera. Very, very simple, as you'll see in the back. We don't try and go wild with these cameras. We just try to make a rock solid, simple product. USB out. Nobody's ever going to say that you are the best looking individual with it, but nobody's going to say you look bad with it. Yeah. It just gets the job done.
Yeah.
All right, so here's our affordable, it gets the job done serial IP or serial joystick controller. No IP capabilities, but hey, somebody wanting to get into production, it's a very easy way for them to get into it. This is our new replacement for our IP joystick controller. It now does serial and IP in one unit. Can't do both at the same time, which actually the Superjoy that we looked at previously, you can mix and match between serial and IP control.
Cool.
This one, yeah, you can do one or the other. Again, we tried to give everybody what they were looking here. Everybody wanted twisty knobs. They got their they got their twisty knobs.
Twisty knobs.
Yeah. So it's all on there. Other than that, pretty much very similar basic controller to the previous HC Joy. And then over here we have our HuddlecamHD NDI webcam. So this is, I think, a $349 price point. Yeah, and it is just an pre-licensed NDI webcam.
Okay.
It is 4K, does ePTZ, pretty simple unit, but yeah, I mean, just take a peek at the back of this. As you can see, there isn't too much going on there. Just a network cable going into it.
What's the USB for then?
So if you were to happen to do a botched firmware load to your camera for any reason...
You can't use that as a USB camera.
No. So we actually make the exact... We did try and cram them together, but the unit started to get a little big, and I already...
Okay.
I liked what it was and wasn't going to go any bigger than that.
This is the XT key control.
Yeah, you see they've got these nice printed buttons now that they do for everything.
Yeah.
Michael was very, very helpful as we were saying we were going to do this. The owner of X Keys, he was like, I've got these printed buttons, like, let me do it for you, and they turned out beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I definitely would have that. Use that in my.
This is the other thing he has added now. He's got the brace on the back, so it raises it up, and you can have it at a nice angle.
Can I add keys to this thing?
Yes, yeah, it's exactly like the old ones. If you still wanted to use the old, put paper behind it style.
Can I put a joystick or a jog wheel on this thing?
Yes, yep. All his accessories work on these.
Okay, cool. That's totally awesome. So, Matt, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure, and thanks for coming to the booth.
So there you go. That's all PTZOptics right there, Jeffrey Powers. At NAB 2022, we're going to have a lot more content, more live stuff, more pre-recorded stuff. So just ask your questions away, and we'll try and get to it as best as possible. So we'll see you. I'm going to head to the next one. We've got a lot of great content coming on. Take care.